Let's make some cute resin decorations. Hey everyone, it's Squdge here, and today we're going to do a Christmas resin project. I have these two super cute little bell decorations. They have the hole already in, ready to be strung up, put on a tree. One has this gorgeous inlaid Christmas tree and one has this gorgeous reindeer. So when you pop it out, these will actually be sunken into the design, which is going to be really cool. So I'm thinking green Christmas tree, so red bell, gold reindeer, silver bell. That's what I'm envisaging, and yeah, I hope you enjoy. So I mixed up my resin, and the first thing I did was our red layer on this tree mould. So I've mixed it up in one of the smaller pots just to make it easier to pour into the shape. And I'm just going to pour around the edges and let it sort of level itself off and spread out into, oh sorry, I kicked the camera stand, and spread out into those gaps between the spots of the tree. When resin is first mixed, when you've still got a lot of pot time left, it will be very, very fluid and it will flow into those small spaces on its own. I apologise for my head getting in the way, I was just clearing up the mess. So these pots hold about, I want to say 15 to 20 mils of resin. So I've only done a layer basically up to the top of where that inlay tree design is. And then I'm just going to feed it through, if it hasn't spread everywhere, using my little facial spatula, which are in the links below. Then for our reindeer, we are going to pour our silver in. Same way, I've mixed the silver up, I'm just going to pour it around the edges and let it flow into the spaces that it needs. The only difference really with this reindeer is that there are some spots between the legs where it won't flow. So I did get my small little plastic spatula, and then we're going to just drip it in so that we can fill in those gaps in between. I apologise for the camera moving. I was trying to make sure. Again, it's very, very cloudy and grey here, so I have to have the headlights on. The headlights? The ceiling lights on. So I was trying to make sure I didn't overshadow the actual project. So then I'm just going to use my little plastic silicone spatula here, just to drip it into those little gaps between the legs of our reindeer, just to fill in those spaces. Now the big one it could possibly have flowed into if you'd given it enough time, but the little one is very, very tight, so it's just easier to just drop it in like this. And I'm just doing a tiny drip at a time and letting it fill up that cavity, and that worked absolutely brilliantly for it. And then I decided to do a little colour of red for the bell and silver on the bell for this red one. And if you can spot my mistake, yes, I did pour the gold in here first because I wasn't concentrating. We're pouring green onto this one because it's the tree. And I apologise for the shadow of my hands. Now I didn't quite have enough green, so what I did was I poured some clear into the same tub. I'm going to mix it with the pigment that's still in that cup because there's still quite a lot of pigment in there. So I'm going to mix that up so that it is a green colour. Obviously it's not going to be as dark as the green in the mould. But I'm then going to pour that into the mould and give it a bit of a mix round. And although this wasn't planned, the nice thing about this is that those two greens are going to be a slightly different colour. And that means that our tree is going to have a slightly more realistic look. Because although I'm mixing them together, they're not going to be fully mixed. You can still see the difference between the darker green and the lighter green. And so when this pops out, it actually gives the tree a really nice realistic appearance. And it wasn't a plan, but it worked out really well for me. So yeah, I was really pleased with that. It worked out for the best in the end. And you know, that's the joy of working with resin. There are a lot of happy accidents where something goes wrong, or I think it's going to turn out awfully, and it turns out to be one of my favourite pieces. So there you go. Then for our silver piece, we're going to pour the gold on, and I did a little red bell for this. I just wanted the bell to be a slightly contrasty colour, that's all it was. So I just poured a little bit on when I did the other colours. We're going to pour our gold in, and for this one I had slightly more resin in there, which worked really well. So I poured this on and I got a very thin coat. It covered everywhere I wanted it to cover, and I was really happy with it. And then I realised that it hadn't covered the bell, so off camera I did do a very, very thin layer of gold just to coat the base of the ball in that bell at the bottom there, just so the whole of the back was gold, that's all. But I just did exactly the same, mixed up the same gold colour, poured it on and added it over the top, because as you can see there, it covers everything, but there is that red bit at the bottom, and I just wanted the back to be solid gold. Okie dokie, we are back to demould our bell decorations. I'm quite excited by these. I'm going to start with this one, because I think that one's going to be my favourite. I mean, why else? Logical way to start, right? Save the best till last. So, oh, that popped out so much easier than I expected it to. I thought that might fight, because this is quite a thick pour. But there we go. Right. This is going to be the interesting bit, because obviously it's got this inlay design. What I don't want to do is where it's got very delicate bits, like the horns, there we go, or the legs, which are very thin. What I don't want to do is rip this. So, one. Oh. There we go. So that's all still in one piece nicely, and the plan worked. Love it when a plan comes together. That means I'm really excited about this one. That is so cool. Now, of course, you could have done it another way. You could have poured the whole thing silver and then poured gold into this bit if you wanted to. But I, again, really like that inlay. You can also put some beads and things in there and cover it up with resin and make a shaker. Right, now for this one, I really hope this one is just as good, because that looks brilliant. I'm so excited. So excited by this one. Right, Christmas tree is not quite as difficult to get out, because although the lines between the bits of the tree are thin, they are just straight lines. So once you pull out the bits around it, I'm doing it from the back because I can see it disconnect, and then I know I can take it out. Oh yes! Oh, do you know, I don't know which is my favourite now. No, I think it is still that one. The only thing I might do with this one is put some gold or some yellow in for that star. The rest of the tree I'm just going to leave green as it is. So, yeah. And because we're on decorations, as I've stated many, many times, whenever I pour resin, I always have some moulds at the side just in case of a little bit of extra resin. And when I was pouring up some bits and pieces, I had some blue and some green left. And because this is a tree, we'll dig out this tree now as well. Dig out? What's that about? Demould. Words are hardy-wardy, guys. My brain shuts down in the winter because it's cold. To be fair, my entire body shuts down in the winter. I don't know why I'm just saying my brain. My body does not do well in the cold. It really doesn't like it at all. Right, now, can I just slide this out? Or it's not going to be that simple. Come on, I have just wiggled you so that you're not sealed in. I'll give you a push at the same time. Yeah, there we go. That's on its way. And then we also have this tree. How cute is that? I like it. I like it a lot. So let me know which is your favourite. Do you like the deer, the tree, or the bonus tree? I think I'm still leaning towards this tree, but I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much for spending time with me today, guys. Keep crafting, and I'll see you all soon.